So on another day, I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them. Ended up catching it. Now, this individual is a female. So I can't do nothing to her. I don't put my hands on females. Y'all want to know what I did? I told the individual, I said, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't put my hands on her because I'm not gonna do that. I don't hit women. But I told her to get out. I said, get the fuck out. Because I felt very disrespected that took place.
What would you do if you raised a child for months, only to find out they weren't yours? Imagine loving a woman through prison, poverty, and fame, just to be betrayed by a DNA test. Papoose thought he had it all: loyalty, legacy, and love. Until one test shattered everything. That IT started quietly. Papoose had been hearing the whispers for months. Hushed conversations, odd glances, strange silences when he walked into a room. People close to him knew something was off, but nobody had the heart to say it outright. He tried to brush it off. Maybe it was stress. Maybe it was just jealousy from outsiders. But deep down, something didn't feel right. And when you know in your gut that something's wrong, it eats at you. That's when he made the hardest decision of his life, to take a DNA test. No cameras, no public drama. Just him, the baby he thought was his, and a lab technician who held the truth in an envelope. When he opened it, everything he believed about his life collapsed. The baby wasn't his. And the father? Eazy the Block Captain. To understand the depth of that heartbreak, you have to go back. Back to when Remy Ma was behind bars and the world had almost forgotten her name. Papoose didn't. He was at every court date, every visiting hour, every phone call. He wore t-shirts with her name, kept her music alive, raised her son like his own, and waited 6 long years. When she finally came home, he gave her a wedding, a home, a future. They built something from the ground up, 2 flawed people trying to create something pure in an industry built on lies. Their bond became legendary. People posted about them with captions like, "This is what real love looks like." They renewed vows, appeared on red carpets, and made promises in public that they had already kept in private. And now, one mistake has set fire to all of it. What makes this story even more painful is who the other man is. Eazy wasn't just a name in the industry. He was close to Papoose. He was at they. Papoose had vouched for him, helped him grow. Some even say Papoose gave him opportunities that changed his life. So when the chemistry between Remy and Eazy started raising eyebrows backstage at shows, people gave them the benefit of the doubt. No one wanted to believe what their eyes were seeing. But Papoose did. He started noticing things: whispered phone calls late at night, sudden changes in Remy's mood, a strange distance that couldn't be explained away by work. He didn't confront her right away. He watched. He waited. And eventually he acted. When the DNA results came in, Remy didn't deny it. She broke down. According to people close to her, she admitted the truth, that there was something between her and Eazy, something that was never meant to go this far. But it did. And now there's a child involved. Friends say Remy has been spiraling since that day. She's canceled appearances, stopped answering calls, and disappeared from social media. Those who've seen her say she looks like a ghost of herself, tired, pale, barely holding it together. She's begged Papoose to give her one more chance, to think about the family they've built. But he hasn't budged. The fallout has been devastating. Their daughter, still too young to understand the full story, has been asking why her parents aren't in the same house anymore. Remy's teenage son, who always looked up to Papoose like a second father, has reportedly stopped talking to him. The trust that held this blended family together has crumbled. And it's not just the immediate family. Papoose's side is furious. They were loyal to Remy for years, welcoming her as one of their own. To them, this betrayal feels personal. One insider said, "It's not just a marriage that ended. It's an entire community that got shattered." Online fans are torn. Some are devastated. They grew up watching Papoose and Remy as symbols of resilience and love. For them, this feels like watching their own parents break up. Others are angry, not just at Remy, but at the entire image they feel was fake all along. Twitter threads are filled with theories. Some fans swear the baby looks exactly like Eazy. Others claim this affair has been going on for over a year. There's talk of Eazy stepping up as a father figure now, and that alone has caused massive debate. Some say it's the right thing to do. Others say it's disgusting. The betrayal isn't just personal. It's public. And the court of public opinion is ruthless. Then came the final nail. Word spread that Papoose had officially filed for divorce. No press release. No big announcement. Just quiet paperwork filed under his legal name. Those close to him say he's not doing this out of revenge. He's doing it because he's exhausted. Because for the first time in years, he's choosing himself. He's moved out, changed his number, cut off contact with everyone except his daughter. The man who once stood on stages declaring his loyalty is now rebuilding in silence. And even though no one has seen the actual documents yet, insiders say it's only a matter of time before it becomes public record. This isn't just a story about cheating. It's about heartbreak. About how even the strongest love stories can fall apart when trust is broken. It's about a man who gave everything, only to realize he had nothing left to give. A DNA test didn't just reveal biology. It revealed truth. Painful, brutal truth. And now, the world is left to watch as one of hip-hop's most beloved couples burns to the ground. What would you do in his shoes? Could you forgive? Could you move on? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more real stories, the kind that hit deep and don't hold back, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell. Because this story may be ending, but others are just beginning. Remy Ma couldn't run from what she did, no matter how badly she wanted to. Every time she tried to focus on something else, her heart would pull her right back to the pain. It was a choice that broke everything she and Papoose had built together. Their home used to feel like a safe space, full of love, laughter, and music. She used to walk through the front door and feel peace. Now every room echoed with silence. The dining table where they once shared meals sat untouched. The couch where they watched movies felt cold. Her world didn't just feel empty, it felt haunted. Haunted by memories, by love lost, and by the man who once looked at her like she was his everything. Papoose had always been her rock. He stood by her during her darkest moments, even through her prison sentence. When everyone else turned their backs, he stayed. He fought for her, believed in her, and protected their relationship like it was sacred. And Remy knew that. She wasn't blind to how deeply he loved her. She used to feel it every time he touched her hand, every time he said her name with that deep voice full of care. But even the strongest love has limits, and this time she pushed him too far. When the rumors started, Remy thought she could control the damage. She thought if she stayed quiet, stayed close to Papoose, it would all fade away. But it didn't. It got worse. The whispers turned into headlines. The photos turned into proof. And then came the final blow, the DNA test. First, she didn't want him to take it. She begged him not to. Not because she didn't already know the truth, but because deep down, she feared it would destroy what little was left between them. And it did. The day he opened the results, Remy saw something in him break. He didn't scream. He didn't curse. He didn't even ask her why. He just stood there, quiet, as if his whole soul had gone numb. His eyes told the story. They looked at her like she was a stranger. Like he couldn't believe the woman he had trusted more than anyone had betrayed him in the most painful way. That silent heartbreak was worse than any argument. She wished he had yelled, wished he had gotten angry, because even the baby, the child she once thought would bring new joy into their lives, now reminded her of everything she lost. She loved her baby deeply, but it hurt knowing that child was also the reason Papoose left. Every time she held the baby, guilt stabbed at her heart. What was supposed to be a blessing had turned into a permanent reminder of a betrayal that couldn't be undone. People started turning on her. Friends stopped calling. Family members avoided her. Social media was ruthless. Fans who once praised her for being a strong woman now called her a liar, a cheater, a homewrecker. She tried not to read the comments, but some slipped through, and they stayed in her head. They echoed louder than her own thoughts. Everyone had something to say, but no one knew what it felt like to wake up alone in a bed you used to share with the love of your life. No one knew what it felt like to hear your child cry in the next room and realize the man you hoped would be there forever was never coming back. Remy started replaying everything in her mind. The first time she met Eazy, the flirtation she ignored, the night it went too far. She remembered how it made her feel, like she was in control, like someone was finally listening to her in a way Papoose hadn't been lately. But it was all an illusion, a moment of escape that cost her everything real. She traded forever for a temporary thrill, and now she was left with nothing but regret. She still hoped Papoose would come back. She left the porch light on some nights, just in case he decided to walk through that door. But deep down she knew, the man she hurt was too proud, too loyal, and too heartbroken to return to the woman who lied to him. Even if he still loved her, and she believed he did, the damage was done. Now Remy wakes up every day with a heavy heart. She cares for her child, she smiles for the camera, but inside she's unraveling. The guilt, the shame, the loss, it eats at her. She remembers the woman she